All right, this is our last workout for week 9, WOD 9F. For 3 rounds, you're gonna do 20 plate hops, 20 single leg deadlifts, and 10 air squats for the warm-up. Now, the plate hops, we're gonna be using a plate during the workout, so this should be ready to go anyway. But essentially, you're just gonna be behind the plate and hop up and on. If you want, you can change it up a little bit. You can go side to side. You can go forward and backwards. Just be careful on that heel if you go over. But other than that, just 20 plate hops total, whichever way you want to do it. And then you're going to go into 20 single leg deadlifts. So for that, again, we're just going to reach down, touch the ground with both hands, stand up. These can be alternating. They don't have to be. Come down. Whenever I'm doing my warm-up, typically what I like to do is try to get a little bit lower and lower in the deadlift, so I also get a bit of a dynamic stretch in the hamstring. So I'll come down and eventually try to get the palms all the way to the ground. I might start off just coming right above the toe, and then eventually touching the ground, and then eventually palms to the ground. Then 10 air squats, normal air squats, shoulder width apart with the heels, slightly outward turned toes, and then come down, and you want to just go below parallel in the squat. After you've done 3 rounds of that, here's our workout. 5 rounds, 800-meter run, 1,000-meter row, or 2,400-meter bike. Choose whichever one you want to do. After that's done, you do 30 deadlifts. Now, these deadlifts, what we have done is we've tried to come up with something creative, but that gives you a little bit of actual weight for some strength in this workout. So you can essentially make this as heavy as you would want, but just look on Wodify for what we're prescribing for the weights there, so you know the minimums that you have to hit. But for some of you, you might want to go a little heavier since we haven't been using barbells or anything like that for a little while. But let me show you what the setup could potentially look like at your home. So the plate, obviously when we go to pick a plate up off the ground, it's hard. You can't get your hand underneath it. You've got to get your feet next to it, lift it up, and then go for a deadlift. Okay, so if you're just using a plate, then there's a different method that I would use here. If you have some old shoes laying around, which we do because they've been sitting in Lost and Found for, I don't know, probably God only knows how long they've been over there. But you can take some shoes, lift this plate, and just let it sit on the toes. This will be totally fine, so you can just get your hands underneath and lift it right off the ground. Okay? Now, if you want to add some weight to this, which we are recommending, the weights are going to get heavier, so RX plus 45 is not going to cut it. What you want to do is you can set a kettlebell on top. But for those of you that have our plates, we want to try to protect the plate as well. So you can grab a rag, an old shirt, something like that, and just lay that down to pad it a little bit. And if you have a kettlebell, then what you can do is set this on its side, but you'll feel it sit in that hole where the barbell normally goes. So it'll sit and be all right there. You can do your deadlifts just like this. Make sure you get nice and good form. You're probably not going to come all the way back because of the awkwardness of the plate. You come down. Now, on this particular movement, when you're doing this deadlift, if you have a barbell and can just set that up, then just use your barbell. The idea for us is really that you're just able to incorporate that strength component. But for those of you that don't but want to try to add a little bit of extra weight, what you can do is, so I've got my setup with the plate, the rag or whatever I need to use to soften it a little bit, and then the kettlebell on top. And if I need a little extra weight, then what I'm going to do is probably just throw a bag on it. So here, I've got a bag. I'm going to throw it over the top, like so. And I'm going to need to test this. You'll want to test this before the workout, obviously. Otherwise, you're going to come up to this and go, what the heck did I do? What was I thinking? So on this one, the plate is set up pretty high on the shoes. I need to be able to get my hands under it. Otherwise, without a grip, I'm not going to be able to pick it up. So I get my hands under it. The bag's on there. This is going to test whether or not it's balanced as well. So I'm going to take the plate and then lift, and that's pretty heavy. All right, I can't go as high as I would like to, but I get the weight on there. It's a good strength movement. Again, test this out. Make sure that you got the plate up high enough to where you can get your hands under it, and then balance the bag on top if you're going to do that, and make sure that this is a good weight for you. One last note on this particular workout. Some of you only have one of our temp plates, high temp plates, and these are really, really flexible, and they don't hold a ton of weight. So you have a 10 or 15 pound plate, then you could probably put about double its weight onto the plate itself. So this is a 10 pound, I'll probably put a 20 pound kettlebell on it. With a 15 pound plate, you could probably put a 30 pound kettlebell on it. But something like this is not going to be able to hold what we have here, that's 60 pounds. It's just going to start to crack or cause this plate to buckle. So please just keep it a little lighter if you're using one of the high temp plates. Other than that, you'll have a good workout.